Spurs fans, if you took a poll of, would you say, right, if you finished outside the Champions League, say you finished even 7th or 8th, you didn't qualify for Europe, but you won the FA Cup, I think you get quite an even split of the fan base that would say, do you know what, we'd take a trophy. It's been 15 years. We want something to show for all of the progress under Pochettino, the new stadium, the new training ground, all of that. But at the same time, of course, trying to build on that and go for the biggest prizes. They need to be in the top 4 every year. They need that money. They don't generate the revenue that the other clubs that they're competing with do. They need to finish in the top 4 every season to maintain that pursuit. So they kind of get caught between the two aims, really. It's, do you want to just win a trophy at all expense, or do you want to try and actually go for the Premier League and the Champions League? And if you're going to do that, and remember, they only got to the Champions League final 4 years ago. It's not that long ago. This is a squad that's gone on a lot of transition in that time, obviously changed a couple of managers, but still they see themselves as being aiming to compete for the biggest prizes. So they almost bypass the FA Cup and the League Cup and think, well, actually, they aren't the trophies we want. And really, you think, well, after 15 years, I mean, look at Manchester United. They've gone 6 years without winning a trophy, and they're treating the Carabao Cup like they won the World Cup, And that's because they see it as a stepping stone to something else. They see it as developing that winning mentality and really sort of making a statement that the club is going in the right direction. What all this does for Spurs is it just reopens all the old wounds, all of the old issues about where Chairman Daniel Levy's taking the club, whether he's prepared to invest or ENIC is prepared to invest the money to get them to the top. And then, of course, it raises questions about people like Harry Kane and whether he's going to hang around this summer and into the final year of his contract when they don't look any closer to winning trophies than they did since Pochettino left.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You not look like you're going to compete with the big boys, so don't treat the FA Cup.
Well, look, some perspective, they made changes, but
Sheffield United made changes as well.
Right. Sheffield United are currently in the automatic promotion spot in the Championship. They have a transfer ban. They're not a good side. If they go up, they'll come straight back down under the current guys. They'll get walloped off almost everybody in the Premier League with their current squad. I did them twice against Wrexham.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 5th tier. They took a late equaliser and the injury time down in Wrexham to get them a replay, and then Phil Parkinson in the 5th tier, because they're trying to get back in the Football League, made wholesale changes to basically a non-league side and gave Sheffield United as good a run for their money.
A missed penalty changed the game.
As Tottenham. And Paul Mullen missed a penalty. He's second of the game. That tells you how bad how this was another poor performance for Tottenham, because Sheffield United are not a very good side. But yeah, it must be so frustrating as a Tottenham supporter about ownership, as James said, and about finance and about direction. But if I'm Harry Kane, I mean, we've had this discussion so many times. Come on, if you're a really top player at Tottenham, it's not changing anytime soon. It really is.
Well, because what's the rule of pro sports? The rule of pro sports is follow the money for success. Tottenham aren't spending like the top teams, but there's still an expectation, even though they don't spend like the top teams, that they have to be above the top teams. Tell me, give me 3 seasons where you're paying as much as Chelsea, Liverpool, Man U, and Man City, and now demand from the players that you finish and bring trophies back. Right now, you're asking for something that financially you shouldn't be achieving.
However, some good news for Spurs.
All right.
Antonio Conte, James, was nominated for Manager of the Month, even though he wasn't on the touchline for those days.
What?
Yes, he's been in charge for as many Premier League wins as I have, so I was disappointed to miss out, as you can understand. Look, clearly the Premier League want to recognise the fact that Tottenham have had a good month, and if you talk to Christian Stellini, he'll say, well, yes, I'm the one on the touchline, but Antonio's picking the team, and quite often he's making the changes in matches. But I mean, it is a strange anomaly. But he's not going to win it. He's the only one of those 3 who's actually lost a game. Marco Silva and Eric Ten Hag were unbeaten in February, so yeah, I can't see him winning it, but being nominated is strange enough. Maybe maybe he needs to stay away more often. I'll have a better win record.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.